Hey, what's up, you guys? How's everybody doing out there today? Hope you guys are doing amazing out there on this fine Monday morning. I'm doing pretty good. I I've been waking up earlier these days. Been reading this book called The Miracle Morning. It's a good book, man. It's basically about you know, it's basically about waking up an hour earlier each day and doing this routine before you start your day. Basically, it takes the six most successful self-development techniques, puts them all together, and you basically run through an hour routine of all six of those things, like 10 minutes each routine. And it's like it's like the savers, right? They call it the savers. So silence or meditation will be like the first 10 minutes. Affirmation statements would be like the second 10 minutes. um, Visualization would be the third 10 minutes. um, Exercise would be the fourth 10 minutes. Reading would be the fifth 10 minutes. And then the last S is scribing or journaling, writing would be like the sixth 10 minutes. And, you can move those around in any order you want to. I usually do the exercising last. But it has been really helpful. It's been pretty cool. That's not what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I just threw that out there. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. So if you're interested in self-development, kind of like improving yourself a little bit, getting more positive, you might check out Miracle Morning. It's pretty cool. Anyways, it's by a guy named Hal Elrod. Anyways, here's my question for you. What's up, Jad? Here's my question for you. Are you suffering from a motivation hangover? Right? And I know you're probably thinking, well, what are you talking about, Cam? I don't even know what that is. What is a motivation hangover? Like, well, I'll be honest with you. I just invented that term like 10 minutes ago thinking about it. But I kind of had this feeling, and I needed a term for it that made sense to me. I don't know if this is going to apply to a lot of newbies. It might. I really don't know. You guys will have to let me know if you know these feelings. But, me personally, I've been in this internet marketing scene for a few years now. And, it's funny, like when you first get started, like you're extremely motivated because everything's new to you. Everything's new. You're learning all these new things. Everything's cool and it's fresh. And, you're very motivated to make videos about it, and you're very motivated to write about it. You're learning a lot of new strategies and techniques, and man, your mind is just moving quickly, and there's a lot of newness, a lot of new stuff, and it's exciting, and you're excited about it. But what happens is, at least for me, I can only speak for myself. What happens is, you have your 2 cents to add on all these different subjects on list building and email marketing and, content creation and all these other little subjects. You have your 2 cents to add on it. And then after a couple years, you feel like, man, I've kind of said my piece on all this stuff. I kind of feel like, I've said my piece on everything. And can you come up with new things to say? Sure, you can come up with new things to say. But is it the same thing though? You know what I mean? Is it the same thing as like when you were really excited about something new, like when you discovered how powerful list building was, and you had all these ideas about how you wanted to talk about list building to people and give it to them, and teach them about list building, but then like maybe 2 years in, you've already said your piece about list building. You've already said it. It's the same now as it was then. A lot hasn't changed on that subject, and you kind of feel like, I don't think I have anything else to say about that subject. And when you think about other things you might say about that subject, it seems kind of like it doesn't, it's already been said. Someone else has already said it better than you, or it's been said more completely than what you could say it. And you feel like anything you have to add on that subject, you've kind of already said before. Anything important, anything of use, and then you feel like, well, I guess I could just pull something out and throw it out there, but does it matter anymore? Does that content even matter? And it's like, I guess to me, it feels a little like a motivation hangover, and I think it comes down to this. Like the first thing I thought was, the same skills, that are required to get a business successful are not the same skills that are required to keep a business successful. That was the first thing I thought. But that's not really true, is it? I mean, it really does require the same skills. The same skills you learned in the beginning, the same skills you need to keep the business successful. So what's changed? What's changed is your mindset has changed. Your mindset has changed. The way you see these things has changed. They're not exciting anymore. You're not building something new anymore. Now you're just trying to grow something. Now you're just trying to maintain something. And it's a different mindset. It doesn't feel the same. Your mindset has changed. My mindset has changed. I don't feel the same as I did when I was hungry and fresh and I was learning new things and everything was new to me. I don't feel the same anymore. I mean, it feels like I've seen it all. I've done it all. I understand how everything works already. Nothing new under the sun. And like that feeling is a different mindset than like being new or being excited and making your first money online. It's a different feeling. And I guess today I've been calling that feeling a motivation hangover. And I was kind of like writing down some things over here on my little notepad about how to combat a motivation hangover. How do we combat? And maybe new people can feel that way too, because even if a new person hasn't really done all that stuff, maybe they've consumed so much information that they feel like nothing new is under the sun. They've heard it all before, even though they haven't necessarily done it all before. They might have tried it all before. It just didn't work out. And they've heard it all before to the point where everything that they look at just feels old, like they've seen it before. Whether they've actually had success with it or not, it just feels kind of old. And I think it might be harder for someone to take action on something and get success with something when they already have that mindset on it that's different. Like the mindset is, I've seen this before. Oh, that's not going to work for me. That's a whole, I know all about that. I think that's a different mindset than when you're fresh and you're excited about something and new. And I was kind of writing down things that kind of pull people out of that motivation hangover. Because I think and I believe that in this business, the business of helping other people move forward, the business of helping other people succeed online, I think it's important to be excited. I think it's important to, actually give a crap about what you're talking about. I mean, I don't just want to puke content out on people that I don't feel in my heart anymore, even though it's true. Because I can't tell people for 3 years in a row to just go build a list and just go, warm people up and make them your tribe or make them your audience and then sell them stuff. I like that message is fine and it's true, but like, it's not the same as when I first discovered it. It's not, I don't feel the same about it. It's like old hat almost. And it's like, as someone who wants to teach in this space, how do you keep it fresh for yourself? I mean, how do you keep that excitement? How do you keep your mindset right? How do you stay humble? How do you do it? Right. So I was kind of thinking about it, for myself. And I just thought I'd share some of my thoughts with you guys since, I'm here and you're here and, we're all on Facebook this morning. So anyways, so one thing I thought that was important to me was to seek out the new, seek out the different perspective, right? Seek out people who are seeing things different than I am, doing things different than I am. I must seek them out. I have to find new perspective on the things that seem old to me. I need to see things in a new light. I need to see things from a different perspective to shift mindset. That's my opinion, and I wrote it down. What's up, Sal? What's up, Mark? Harold Birch in the house. Jeannie. What's up, you guys? I should have said hi to everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning on this little live stream here. I should do more of these. I don't do enough of these days. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't do a lot of them these days because motivation hangover. I don't feel like I have anything to say. I mean, even though I know I could force something to say, I just feel like I don't have anything great to say that hasn't already been said, or that you haven't heard from me before, or you haven't heard from someone else before. And I just feel like I don't even know if another voice is needed, so that's why I haven't been doing a lot of live streams. So I guess it just comes down to motivation hangover. But anyways, I was kind of like writing down some things. I was writing down some things that I was thinking might help with this motivation hangover. And one of those things was seek out the new, seek out the different perspective, because, we're all in this space, but there's a lot of different ways to make money online. And there's a lot of different perspectives about how to do, even the same things. So I kind of want to make it a point to seek out other people's perspectives that are different than mine, just to kind of see things from a new angle. Another thing is I want to report out loud on those new perspectives. Now, I used to always tell people, learn out loud. You can learn out loud because there's two kinds of people that get followed online. Those that are perceived to have arrived and those who are on a journey. And I always would tell people that you don't have to be the expert. You can be the guy on a journey and get followed. And you can build an audience being the person on a journey, and that's great. But I think that when you have this mindset of, I've seen it all, I've done it all, whatever, like when you have that mindset, like the idea of learning out loud, I mean, you almost cancel it out automatically because you're like, what's left to learn? Even though we know there's always something else to learn, but you still kind of have that mindset of, learn what, man? Learn what, bro? But I think when you're seeking out new perspectives, it's not really as much about learning as it's much about discovering. It's discovering a new way to look at the same thing, different ways to see the same wall in front of you. So to me, like, new content looks more like reporting out loud, not as much learning out loud. Maybe when you get a little bit more experienced, learning out loud becomes reporting out loud. Let me report on this really new way to look at this old problem I thought was really cool, and I think that's a neat way to look at things, kind of report out loud, right? It doesn't have to be your angle, it doesn't have to be your perspective, but you've learned a different angle, a different perspective, a unique way to look at something that you didn't look at it before. I remember, for example, the first time I heard that the absolute best traffic source in the world was an email list. I was like, that kind of was a eureka moment for me, because I didn't look at an email list like a traffic source. I mean, I looked at it like I ran traffic to put them on an email list, but I didn't look at the email list itself like that was a traffic source. And it was kind of a eureka moment for me when I kind of started seeing, hey, email list is like the best traffic source. It is the cheapest traffic source I have. It's the most reliable traffic source I have. And that's like a new angle. That's a new angle to look at something. I mean, it's the same stuff, the same terms, the same things. It's just seeing them in a different perspective. And it kind of gets your engine going again. You know what I mean? Kind of gets you over that motivation hangover. So I think that's one thing. And then another thing, I think this is important, but stay humble, right? Stay humble and connect with your customers. I think it's important to kind of reach out to your customers and talk to them. You know what I mean? I think in this business that it's really, really easy. The bigger your audience gets, the bigger your email list gets, the more people who you get used to just like people just buy things off of you. Like it's almost like it's very easy to see just numbers, just see the analytics. You don't really see them as people, but like you think in your mind, every time I do an affiliate promotion, if I do a good full affiliate promotion, I can push probably 50 or 60 units. Like that's what you think. But it's like, no. Like really, in reality, that's like 50 or 60 actual people who like believed in the words that you said and took a chance on that product. Like those were real people. You just got 60 people to pull money out of their wallet and buy something. That's crazy if you think about it. 60 people pull money out of their wallet and buy something because you recommended it. That's really amazing if you think about it. But it's not amazing when you're just thinking about the numbers. You're like, oh, 60, that's cool. I wish it could be 120. I wish I could just like send an email off and make it like 200. I wish I could just push like 300 units. Imagine how much leverage I would have in the market if I could just push 300 units every time I fired off an email. There would be like no stopping me, right? There'd be like no stopping me. I'd be like, king of the castle if I could like push 1,000 units every time I fired off an email. Can you imagine the leverage I would have? My business would be unstoppable. You start thinking about it in numbers, and like numbers are great and numbers matter, but I think it's important to if you're suffering from a motivation hangover, I think it's important to remember that these aren't just numbers. These are real people. I mean, if you got 100 people to buy something, man, first of all, awesome job. You connected with 100 people on a level that would make them actually want to spend money. And it's not bad to just reach out to those people and say, hey, what's up, man? Reach out to them a week later. How many of us reach out to people who bought something from us a week after and just say, how's the product going for you? I know I recommended it. I know you bought it. How's it going for you? Have you had any success with it? How are things going, man? Just kind of reaching out to people here and there and seeing how they're doing. And I think that's part of staying humble and just, connecting with your customers. I think that's part of, because then you get their perspective. You know what I mean? Because then you get the customer's perspective, because we don't have the same perspective. Like, trust me, if you're out there and you can send out an email and you can push 60 units on a product in like a day, guess what? You don't have the same perspective as those 60 people who bought that product. Like, your perspective is not the same. You don't see life in the same way. I mean, if you can run a sale and make like a couple G's in like 24 hours, you don't have the same perspective as the guy who like has to work full time and he's spending his weekends trying to figure out how to make money on the internet. You don't have the same perspective. So I think it's important to reconnect with those people and get their perspective. And that's my opinion, man. And that's kind of what I was thinking this morning. And then the last thing I would say, guys, and then I'll get off here because I don't really know how useful this video is to any of you guys. I know it's useful to me, and I thought I'd just do a live stream about it in the spirit of transparency and being honest with everybody. Yeah, I don't know how helpful it is to anybody besides me. But anyways, the last one I would say is move in the positive. Move in the positive. Like, when you make moves in the world, like when you are out here making decisions every day to do things, to do this, to do that, the way we speak to people on a daily basis, move in the positive. When you're speaking to people, move in the positive. When you're taking actions, how could you say that in a positive way? How could you do that in a positive way? What's the positive way to handle that? I feel like there's so much negativity in our world that it's just kind of like inherently rubs off on us and comes out of us. Like, we just approach people with a negative attitude. We just automatically assume that people want something from us. When they reach out to us, they're going to want something from us. We just automatically assume that. So we handle them from a position of negativity, and that's not always true. And I don't know. I just think that, like, to me, when it comes to the idea of suffering from this motivational hangover, I think moving in a positive way, decisive movements, decisive transactions in a positive way, is beneficial, at least to me. So anyways, that's all I got, guys. I hope that's been helpful to you. If I come up with anything cool or new to talk about, I will surely do a live stream and share with you guys. But for now, man, that's all I got. I hope you guys are all doing amazing on this fine Monday morning. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I really do. See you guys. Peace.